Hi Pisces, how are we today? Just doing our weekly readings. This week we are actually doing the monthly readings. So looking ahead at July, what is in store for you. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel so you can stay up to date with all the readings. This week we are going to be doing the July reading in what I like to sort of refer to as my 3x3 spread. So we are going to be having three topics: the important energy, career and money, as well as love, and we're going to draw three cards for each of those. Firstly, an overview, a challenge, and then an advice card. I will be drawing those ones with the green glyphs lenormand. I also have here the Boji blog lenormand for clarification cards if necessary. And we are just going to start off with a monthly overview card from the Shine from Within, or Shine Your Inner Light. I can't remember the name of the deck. Shine something. But we'll get into it for you. I think it is Shine from Within. Oracle. Okay, but we'll have a look here, Pisces. Pisces, what's going on for Pisces? What does Pisces need to know in regards to July? Well, Pisces energy for July 2025, please. Pisces energy for July. Look for the signs and synchronicities, Pisces. So having a strong month of being guided and being directed to go this way or that way. We do sort of see quite a lot of signs and synchronicity, symbolism in this particular card. So straight away you can see the 1111 there. We can also see it's a little red car. We've got the cards there, we've got crystals, we've got butterflies, we've got rainbows, we've got dragonflies, so certain things that may stand out to you as a sign or a synchronicity of, going a certain direction, or being affirmed that that is the right direction, that kind of thing, especially the 1111, so you may be seeing quite a lot of repeated numbers during July, making sure that you are aware that, seeing those things, it is kind of an affirmation that yes, you're moving in the right direction. Yes, you're making the right choices. You're on the right path, basically. Some people do like to look up the individual, numbers when they do see repeated numbers. But just in general, seeing those repeated numbers just as is, whether it be, one specific repeated number or a whole bunch of different repeated numbers, it is just in general an affirmation kind of to let you know that, you are on the right path here. Things are falling into place how they're supposed to for you here. We do see the symbolism of, things like the butterflies, the rainbows. So it's kind of, we all know that saying of, the rainbow comes to let us know that, the sun will shine again, that, happier days are coming, that kind of thing. So it is, once again, that same sort of symbolism. Butterflies, some people do like to think of butterflies as, a past one spirit around them when they do see butterflies around them. Things like seeing, and the red car, I feel that that's very significant for you here, Pisces. It's like a little red beetle car, that we would play punch buggy when we were kids with those cars. But it's kind of like if you're seeing a certain color all the time, or you're seeing a certain, even a specific car all the time, you see that same car all the time, it's kind of an indication that you are on the right track. It may not, for someone here, it may sort of, you've got to make sure it's not an indication that you're being stalked, definitely. But it's kind of like, if you're seeing everywhere you go, you see red cars that stand out to you, that red car. It's another thing that sort of maybe it has some personal resonance for you as well, that, maybe a person that you're wanting to reconnect with has a red car, and then, as soon as you start thinking about that person, you see red cars everywhere. That kind of thing is kind of what I'm getting at with that. So it could be any sort of sign. So a lot of the time it does sort of link up with, if you're seeing certain things around, connected to certain thoughts, like especially when it comes to, oh, every time I think of this person, I hear that same song all the time, that kind of thing. I personally, one of my big ones is every time jewelry breaks, it's a sign to me that someone is coming into my life, or returning to my life, and it's kind of shows me that there is some sort of important energy about to happen within a few days of that jewelry breaking. But Pisces, July energy for Pisces. I will grab out all the cards for you, Pisces, and we will work our way through. Okay, starting off with the important energy for Pisces in July. Overview, challenge, and advice. Career and finances for Pisces in July. Overview, challenge, and advice. That looks almost exactly what I saw for, I believe it was Aquarius, Pisces. So some of you may be on the cusp when it comes to Aquarius there. Love for Pisces in July. We've got the overview, the challenge, and the advice. Okay. So the most important energy for you this month is the energy of the coffin here. So we do see the coffin coming through as the overview for your important energy in July. So it really does show us that July is going to be a big month of transformative energy. It's a time to close the lid on things that are no longer suiting you in your life. It's a very strong energy of death and rebirth. So, closing out things that no longer serve us so that all that energy can be put into brand new pursuits in our life. So, the death of, maybe a certain connection, a certain job, or a lot of big things can be ended here with that coffin energy here. But for a lot of you, I do feel as though this is it's kind of like the end of a phase in your life, I feel, for a lot of you, because the challenge that's coming through in this important energy is the tree. And the tree does talk about healing and growth. So for quite a lot of you, I feel like this is what the challenge is that the time to heal has ended. The time for growth has ended. And I do kind of just intuitively feel quite a lot of you are continuing to push for more healing, for more growth and expansion, just within your own self. And that's taking care of yourself is going to be a little bit of a challenge for you in July. Sorry if you can hear the puppy in the background. He's being a little bit vocal at the moment, chasing his own tail. Cute. But we do see challenges with, maturity a little bit here as well, which is not necessarily a bad thing for you in July. It may be a bit of a challenge for you to be in a mature mindset and to really, get down into the nitty gritty of, I need to heal and grow and, learn and be wise and mature and responsible. That seems to be a little bit of a challenge for you this month. You are very focused this month on closing things out so that we can put all that energy towards new things in our life. And it's a very big sort of transition month, I think, for a lot of you here. A transformative energy, a transitional period, I feel, for a lot of you that coming through. The advice, we have the child coming through here, Pisces. So, this is why maturity is the challenge for you, because the advice is to be like a child this month and to really embrace that inner child, that part of yourself that wants to just be free and run around and be silly and have fun, and enjoy life. So you don't need to be mature about things this month. It's all about actually embracing the fun side of life and the living in the moment, and the everything is an adventure. I just need to find the adventure and search for that adventure, and everything's going to work out fine. The child really does talk about brand new beginnings as well. So rather than allowing this coffin energy to hold some sort of power over you of like, I need to end this, I need to end that, I need to end this, really embrace the new from that coffin energy, the rebirth. Okay, the transition is, yes, certain things may be ending in my life, but imagine how much great stuff might actually start from here on out. Like I said, a big transition point for you here. You're not wanting to focus so much on the things that are ending in your life, focusing more on, this is big, this is part of the adventure that, now that all that's out of my way, I get to go on this adventure and try something new and do this new thing. It's going to be interesting to see what happens now that is out of my life, and I get to do something new with that energy. Okay. Yeah, and with the career and money here, on second thought, I'm not sure whether it was Libra or Aquarius that reflected this here. So if you do have a strong air placement, you may want to check that as well, especially with the career and financial section, because I feel like this was nearly exactly the same layout as what we saw for either Aquarius or Libra. The overview for career and finances, we do have the clover. Okay, so the clover is all about taking chances and investing in your career, investing in your financial self. So for some of you, it may be actual investments that you're getting involved in during the month of July, and taking a bit of a chance here, taking a risk. The challenge we see is the fox energy. So the challenge here is, I do just want to clarify and just double check if this is you or somebody else. Clarify the fox energy for Pisces challenge with career and money, please. Intuitively, I do kind of feel like it's more likely to be somebody else. Can you just clarify if the fox is Pisces or is this somebody else around Pisces, please? Okay, so when I'm asked specifically if this is you or somebody else, I have the heart. So I feel like this is kind of going both ways. I'm picking up on a very specific storyline for somebody here, that for somebody, there is somebody that is connected to you in love and romance that you work with, or that is heavily involved with your career, your finances. So for those of you where you already have a partner, this may actually be referring to this person and their influence on your financial life in July. Because the extra clarity I did receive here, we have the crossroad and the cross. So it's kind of like there is a decision that's needing to be made, I suppose, here too, that as to whether this is your responsibility. So for some of you, this is somebody external to you, and deciding whether it is part of your responsibility, whether this is a financial burden, this if it's whether you're taking the burden of this person financially as well as yourself, or are you focused on just your own financials. I do feel as though as we move through that, you individually, because it is a collective reading, and I'm kind of getting both messages here coming through. So I feel as though you individually will kind of know your own situation enough to know whether this is definitely somebody external to you that you are, you've chosen to include them as part of your home unit, part of yourself when it comes to career and financials. Obviously, it does feel more financially, like more of a financial burden. And it may not be, burden, I feel like may not be the right word there. You may have just decided that you've got some financial obligations or responsibilities to have financial, like have somebody else involved with your financial world. You may have a partnership, I suppose, for some of you, whether it be a romantic partnership or a business partnership. You may not be the sole person here when it comes to your finances. For some of you, there is a second person involved in your financial aspect here. But it's kind of showing us that with the fox, because the fox worries about themselves and themselves alone. But a wild fox will travel for miles to bring back, food for the den. And so whoever this is, especially with the heart showing us that this is that person, whoever that is, that they are part of your heart, part of your den, part of your home, part of your, the one that you come home to every single night. So for some of you, this is, your own children, your own partner, and you are responsible financially in some way, shape, or form for their financial situation as well as your own. Okay, but we do sort of see that this is the challenge, though, that, deciding whether this is a burden or if it's just a responsibility, deciding, how do we look out for ourselves first and foremost. That may be the challenge for you too. It may be a little bit hard for you this month to put the family unit first rather than, investing in external. Give me a very it's not giving me the message like super clearly, but like with the clover as the overview, this is to do with, investing or like taking chances. But it's like you are going to have this struggle to maybe know whether these risks that you're taking are actually, you're in a bit of a struggle here to actually be very, very intelligent and clever about these decisions. Okay. You may just sort of, because the clover can be very impulsive. So I do feel as though you may tend to be a little bit impulsive with investments and taking chances. You may sort of jump in the deep end and then kind of go, oh, actually, was this the best decision for the family unit? There's a bit of a challenge there as like, have I made the right decisions? Am I going to be making the right decisions here? So, straight away with your advice, we do see the whip coming through for your advice here as well. So it kind of does talk about not beating yourself up for whatever decisions you make, even if you do make them a little bit rashly. Maybe if you realize that, I wasn't as smart about that decision as I should have been. Don't beat yourself up about it. It's kind of like the advice is to embrace the conflict, embrace the drama, embrace the tension that this may possibly bring. So even if you do, it's kind of like this energy of like, I am hearing the phrase "effed if you do, effed if you don't." So it does kind of feel like this was kind of inevitable, regardless of the decisions that you're making anyway. Something was going to happen regardless, and your advice is to just sort of embrace that conflict and embrace that drama, that tension, as it's better to deal with this now, get it out of the way, know how to deal with that kind of thing. Sometimes through conflict, sometimes that's when we learn the most, and sometimes it's in resolving conflict, sometimes that's actually gets us further in the long run than not facing that conflict would actually have gotten us. So it's kind of like that, deal with it now, get it out of the way now, get the drama out of the way now. Don't be afraid to, maybe have a little bit of tension, drama with your finances this month, because get it out of the way now, then rather than it be a long-term issue for you. Because I'm just sort of picking up that, this is kind of destined to affect you, and if you don't get it out of the way now, it may actually become a bigger problem down the track if you're not getting this out of the way now. So don't beat yourself up if you do, make a impulsive financial decision this month. It's kind of get it out of the way. Get it out of the way now so that you know how to, you know what not to do next time, that kind of thing. It's all part of the learning process for you here, Pisces. It's not necessarily a bad thing. Your advice is to embrace the conflict. It may with that whip here, it may just be a fight with somebody about money. If there is somebody else that you are, that's helping make financial decisions here, with that fox energy there. It may just be, it literally might just be a fight over money between you and this person, and potentially because somebody has sort of put themselves into a risk or an investment that, without sort of, because I'm just picking up for a lot of you, it's you're putting it, you're jumping onto you're taking a chance, you're putting money into something that, if there's other people involved here, that you maybe just don't run it by them before you do, and then it just turns into a little bit of an argument. Like, Pisces, why did you do that impulsively? And it's not necessarily saying you're going to have a hard time with money. It's just saying that there's some sort of conflict related to money, that you're actually needing to face the music of that conflict, and get it out of the way now so that it doesn't escalate into a bigger problem down the track. So, a bit random. When it comes to love, your overview, we have the heart. Okay, so there is a lot of love for you in July, and it's, with the heart, it's not just romantic love, although there is a lot of romance that comes through with the heart. It's more that unconditional love stuff. Okay, so platonic relationships as well as romantic, where you're having that unconditional love, and you're loving yourself as well, Pisces. So it's a really good month for love energy in your life, whether it be yourself, platonic relationships, or romantic relationships. It's a really positive month when it comes to love. Your challenge is the clouds, which means, quite a lot of you are going to be overthinking it when it comes to love, especially romantic love. You probably will be overthinking it quite heavily. I'm picking up here, whoever this is having that argument with somebody over money, that is going to lead you to overthinking, oh, they don't love me anymore. That is not the case at all, Pisces. You're overthinking it. You're creating this confusion within your own thought space, okay? Because the more that we allow our thoughts to spiral out of control, the more that we get the anxiety and the confusion and whatnot, the clouded judgment coming through here. And it is coming up as a challenge, the way that you're thinking about things this month. I just sort of feel as though, you're really needing to just embrace everything's an adventure. Why not? Just try it. Jump into it. Have a go, and that's actually the positive energy for you this month. So, thinking is not your forte this month. Not going to lie, Pisces. Don't allow it to take over, because it's not your strength this month. You are being challenged by the way that you're thinking about things. So if you do try to spend too much time and energy on the way that you're on your thoughts and overthinking things, it's just going to make things harder for you, to be honest. Your advice when it comes to love, we have the crossroads, the pathways here. Some of you may have a decision between two people this month when it comes to romantic love. That's being very, very clearly displayed in this particular deck. You do have just the two pathways here. For a lot of you, this is, just a choice or a decision, and you're being advised to make those choices and decisions this month, to really start thinking about, what path am I walking when it comes to love? What path do I want to walk down when it comes to love? Where do I want to go here with either that person or just in general? Where do I want to go when it comes to love? You're in a very strong love energy this month, so you're able to make those sorts of decisions. And when just in making that decision, I want to move down a path that takes me to this. you're choosing the right path for yourself, and you're starting to take those first steps, even if you're not seeing any results of that. So make those choices this month and really start to think about, it's not even about where I want to be this month in July. It's about where do I want to be 5, 10, 15 years from now when it comes to love, and choosing that, choosing the path that you're going to walk here. And now I'm hearing that song for some of you here, because I do feel as though the alternate path, see, quite a lot of you are choosing this path, right? Yes, there may be like lots of hills and swerves and things that you're not expecting down this pathway. But this other pathway is singing that song, I walk a lonely road, the only road I've ever known. So this is choosing to walk alone when it comes to love, being by yourself. So if you don't want to walk a path by yourself, you need to very clearly decide to, do you know what, even if I don't know who I'm going to be walking with, I choose to have the possibility to have someone walking beside me. And I'm choosing that pathway where I'm envisioning that this pathway with somebody at my side while I walk down this pathway. Because I do feel very clearly that for a lot of you, this other pathway, there's no one other than yourself on that pathway, and it's up to you. You are, a lot of us are more than welcome. You're more than welcome to choose to do life completely independently. That is, a choice that we all have, and may end up being the better choice for someone there. But just make sure you are aware that that's the choice that you're making this month. I do feel for a lot of you that that's the choice you're being offered here, is a choice between something or nothing when it comes to love and romance. So make sure you're choosing what you truly desire here. I just want to clarify that for you, Pisces. Clarify the pathway for Pisces advice with love. It's just sort of saying to really be very clear about your decisions when it comes to love, and knowing where it's taking you. Yeah, because we do see that clarified by the sun and the garden. Okay, so straight away that's telling me that the choice that majority of you are going to be making is, I choose happiness, and I choose to do that with meeting people, being around other people. The garden is a very social energy. It's about meeting somebody, going on dates, happiness, bringing something to light within yourself that, maybe I do want to meet somebody to walk down that path with me. So I do feel that for majority of you, you are going to be choosing that path of, I want somebody to walk down this path of life with me, because that's where my true happiness actually lays, is I want to meet somebody. So I do feel that for especially the single Pisces, that, you are choosing to, I want to meet somebody. For some of you there may be, choosing to, it's coming to light. This is because this is personal epiphanies as well as happiness. Yeah. So it's coming to light for some of you that, you know what, I just want to be more sociable and have more people in my life. Doesn't necessarily mean I need to meet the one. It just means I just want to spend more time with others and not be alone in a social sense as well. Okay, so that's what we have for you today, Pisces. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all again soon.